Hello and welcome back to the Fight for Liberty podcast. I am your host, JJ, and I will be hosting alongside my wonderful co-host, Alfie. Hello, Alfie.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm I'm okay. It it's been a nice day. It's very hot here. It's over 100 degrees right now. It's pretty insane.
Wow. I thought it was hot here. It only hit 92. So I cannot
That's
imagine.
pretty hot.
It is, but I cannot imagine over 100. I heard we're recording this on a Friday or on a Thursday, excuse me, for the listeners. But I heard over this weekend it's going to be even hotter. We got a heat advisory for my area. It's going to be, so stay cool. Because I think
Yeah.
we'll still be uploading this before the weekend if you're listening. Uh,
Yeah.
so stay cool. Stay cool. What were you saying?
I was saying I went to the store a little bit earlier, and when I got in the car, it was just felt like literally just being in an oven, and being turning on the AC didn't work because it was all just hot air because I had to. So I just like it was just
That's the
hot air.
type of situation you just roll down all the windows and cruise or something. Or open up all the doors and
Yeah.
just wait for the AC. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
and
need.
it's like a dry heat, so
I'm surprised they haven't figured out anything to keep vehicles cool without keeping them running, because it is a severe problem. It's
yeah.
like when you're a kid and you're going down the slide at a park and
Oh yeah,
it burns all the way down. Same type of situation.
you have a little friend on your back.
For the audio listeners, my cat just jumped on my shoulders and started to try to attack my headphone cord. For the video listeners, viewers, you just saw that. Um, yeah. So if you're listening to this on Friday when it releases, stay cool over the weekend. If you're listening to
Yeah,
this after or during the weekend, damage is
stay
already
hot.
damage has already been done. What can I say? Let's
Yeah.
get into it, shall we? First up here, this
Yes.
this comes from BBC, the British broadcast company, I believe. What do Putin and Trump each want from the Alaska summit? Is the headline. U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will travel to Friday's summit in the U.S. state of Alaska, with const-
Interesting.
contrasting priorities as they prepare for talks on ending Russia's war in Ukraine. Putin has been consistent on his desire to win Ukrainian territory, while Trump made no secret of his desire to act as a global peacemaker. But both men may also sense each other's opportunities, such as diplomatic rehabilitation on the world stage, as or on the part of Putin. Second guessing Trump's aims is harder, as he has recently made statements about his Russian counterpart. Here's a fuller look at what the two leaders might want from the meeting. The first thing Putin wants from this summit is something he's already been given, and that's recognition. Recognition from the world's most powerful country, America, that Western efforts to isolate the Kremlin leader has failed. That, yeah. The fact that this high level meeting is happening is a testament to that, as is the joint press conference that the Kremlin has announced. The Kremlin can argue that Russia is back at the top table of global politics. Quote, so much for being isolated, crowed the tabloid. It's a Russian name I'm not even going to try to butcher. Earlier this week, I know I'm not going to pronounce that right. Not only has Putin secured a U.S. Russia summit, but a prime location for it. Alaska has much to offer for the Kremlin, much to offer the Kremlin. First, security. At its closest point, mainland Alaska is just 90 kilometers or 55 miles for the Americans from Russia's shore, essentially. I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me, but I believe if you stand in certain parts of Alaska, you can actually see Russia if you're looking in the direction of Russia off the shore.
Yeah, I think some islands are very close like that.
Yeah,
Where
yes. If you're like Michael Phelps, maybe you could swim over there probably. Anyway,
it'd be cold.
yeah, it would be very cool. I don't actually think that's possible. We should have some viewers. You should just test it, see if you can swim from Alaska to Russia, and if you can,
Yeah, you guys
you
are
can.
guinea pigs.
Yeah, just do it for us and send proof. Um, thank you. Second, carrying on. Second, it's a long way. It's a long way, a very long way from Ukraine and Europe. That sits well with the Kremlin's determination to sideline uh, Europe, European leaders and to deal directly with America. There's historical symbolism too. The fact that Russia sold Alaska to America in the 19th century is being used by Moscow to justify its attempt to change borders by force in the 21st century. So wait, Russia's trying to obtain Alaska back, or trying to, like, what exactly is the goal here? Are they trying to get Russia back as or get Alaska back as Russian borders, or just inhabit it while it's still being a U.S. state? Do you know?
Well, it's saying the fact that they sold it is you.
It's implying that they're
Wait,
trying to
it's being.
reclaim Alaska.
Well, wait. It's being used by Moscow. What is that? Or a lot like the Kremlin or the government?
I assume.
W-
I'm. I mean,
I figure out what that means.
I would assume so.
To justify its attempt to. Okay, they're not getting Alaska back. They can
Yeah.
or they can give up those hopes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. There's no way that's gonna happen. If it does, I mean, I'd be disappointed in Donald Trump because Alaska's awesome.
There's no way we'd give up just that amount, and
That's a lot of
they'd
land.
have to. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're still upset about the fact that they didn't understand its worth, or I guess they didn't really have that much. Because I mean, the reason why they obtained it in the first place, because they're a huge expansion in their empire, and they felt they wanted to sell it to us because they wanted to make some money, but didn't realize how much oil was there, and we discovered that, and then that happened.
That's fair. I really hope they don't try to get Alaska back, because yeah, the only way they're getting that back, or getting any chance of getting that back, is through conflict, and I think that they're still losing that. I just think it's
No,
best
we
to avoid.
annihilate them.
Yes.
That would be that'd be the end of Russia.
Yeah. I'm very curious though. I was not under the impression that that was the goal here.
I don't I don't know what it's that I haven't heard Putin say that, or if he maybe made a little comment, but there's no way anyone is super genuine in any way about that.
I hope not. Um, Putin wants more than
I
just.
like that.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you see that one meme, but I remember this one meme I saw a while back. We were talking. It's not a new idea about Russia wanting Alaska back, but I remember this one meme. It was a poster and it said we're gonna take Alaska back from a Russian saying that. There was I think it was on Reddit or something, and there was a comment that said Russia's about to find out why America doesn't have free healthcare.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is they get annihilated if there's a conflict. Like, let's just be honest, okay? Largest military budget, okay? You saw
By
obviously,
far, by a landslide.
yeah, by a
To
lot.
the next.
Yeah, I think Russia is the second. Is Russia the second largest, or is it? I think it's
Um,
Russia. Either way,
that's-
it's still a
yeah.
huge drop from first to second. And obviously not comparing Iran to Russia, but we saw what happened there recently. And, you know, there's no war going on right now, so that should tell you all you need to know. I do not think there's any way Russia gets Alaska back. There's just no way. That would be outrageous. Okay, Putin wants more than just international recognition and symbols. He wants victory. He's been insisting that Russia keep all the land it has seized and occupied in 4 Ukrainian regions. It names them all, but again, I'm not going to try to butcher them because I know that I'm not going to pronounce them right. And he wants Kiev to, and that Kiev withdrawal from the parts of those regions still under Ukrainian control. For Ukraine, this is unacceptable. Quote, Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier, says the country's president, Zelensky. The Kremlin knows that, but if it secures Trump's support for its territorial demands, the calculation may be that rejection by Ukraine could result in Trump cutting all support for Kiev. Meanwhile, Russia and the U.S. would get on with boosting relations and developing economic cooperation. But there is another scenario. Russia's economy is under pressure. The budget deficit is rising. Income from oil and gas exports are falling. If economic problems are pushing Putin to end the war, the Kremlin may compromise. For now, there's no sign of that, with Russian officials continuing to insist that Russia holds the initiative on the battlefield. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Where do you foresee the conflict going at this point? Do you think Putin will get Trump's assistance and cut ties with Ukraine in that regard, or what's your prediction as of now before we get on to what Trump gains from this?
I can't imagine us going against Ukraine in like pro-Russia. I think Trump's goal is for peace, and I think it's a little unclear what that would look like, what that would entail.
That's fair.
I don't think. I mean, the worst I think could happen. I don't know. The cutting ties thing. I don't think cutting ties would be effective at all for trying to come to some sort of compromise.
Yeah.
But I am a little unsure what is, what that could look like in the future.
That yeah.
I mean, it's been it feels a little unpredictable, but I mean, hopefully, my hope is that maybe at least within a year this war comes to a stop. I praying that sooner, but
Oh yes. I mean, I agree entirely. I think it's gone on long enough, to be honest, and they need to figure out something. But
yeah, I mean, sorry.
a compromise would be bad. That's what I was about to say. And it looks like it is leaning towards Russia potentially compromising due to the economic problems.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not
Yeah, 'cause-
necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, they're just gonna have no choice at one point, like you said, with just the economy. Like, there's no gain for them at this point.
Right.
And well, what I was gonna say is that a comprehensive victory is impossible for both sides.
Right. Yeah.
That I'm very sure of.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. We'll see. Okay, moving on. This is what Trump seeks to claim with this meeting. I guess it's occurring. Trump famously promised during his 2024 presidential campaign that ending the Ukraine war would be easy and he could do it in a matter of days. That promise has hung over the American president's efforts to resolve the conflict as he has alternated between frustration with Ukrainians and Russians since returning to the White House in January. I'm not sure what that word is. Harangued? Can you see that? He publicly spoke to. It's a big fancy word for publicly spoke. He publicly spoke to Zelensky. What?
I said word of the week.
Yeah, word of the week. Here, let me actually pull up. Let's just. Yeah, we should actually start. This is perfect. This is our second word of the week. Word of the week this week, listeners, is
Harangue.
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 Yeah.
Harangue, it is a verb. It means to lecture someone at length in an aggressive or critical manner. There you go. You're welcome. Education. If you already knew that word,
Harangue.
then be gone. I'm not giving you a better word. Um, he harangued Zelensky at a dramatic White House meeting in February, and later temporarily suspended military aid and intelligence sharing with the war-torn nation. In recent months, he's been more critical of Putin's intransgress and willingness to attack civilian targets, setting a series of deadlines for new sanctions on the Russians and other nations that do business with them. Last Friday was the most recent deadline, and as with all the other ones before it, Trump ultimately backed away. Now, he's hosting the Russian president on American soil, talking about, quote, land swapping, with which Ukraine fears may consist of land concussion in exchange for
Wait, hold on.
peace.
Land concession.
Concessions. I actually did know that word. And land concessions in exchange for peace. So, any discussion about what Trump wants during his Friday talks with Putin is muddied by the president's vacillating statements and actions. This week, Trump made a concerted effort to lower the expectations for this meeting, perhaps a tactic acknowledgement of the limited possibilities of a breakthrough with only one party in the war present. I mean, that makes sense to me. I don't think everybody should be getting all excited that this is going to be the end of the war right here in this meeting. Because, like it said, only two parties are present. It's just Trump and Putin. Zelensky will not be there. If we could get all three of them in a room, I think some real progress could be made pretty quickly. On Monday, he said the summit would be a, quote, feel-out meeting. He suggested that he would know if he could reach a deal with the Russian leader, probably in the first 2 minutes. He said, I may leave and say good luck, and that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled. So he's not even promising that he can settle it. It will just depend on how the meeting goes. On Tuesday, White House press secretary reinforced this message, calling the summit a, quote, listening session. But by midweek, he was once again talking up the prospects of a deal, saying that he thinks both Zelensky and Putin want peace. I think so too. I mean, but also I'm not entirely sure if they do, because I feel like if they both wanted peace, there would have been some sort of compromise from one of the sides by now. With Trump, it's often best.
Well,
What? Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, I think peace for Putin could look like, well, his vision is Ukraine completely defeated.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that's fair. With Trump, it's often best to expect the unexpected, and Zelensky and European leaders spoke to him on Wednesday in an effort to ensure he doesn't strike a deal with Putin that Ukraine can't or won't accept. One thing has been clear practically all year, however. Trump would welcome the chance to be the man who ends the war. In his inaugural address, he said he wants his proudest legacy to be that of a, quote, peacemaker. It is no secret that he longs for the international recognition of a Nobel Peace Prize. In the Oval Office on... Yeah, we will see. In the Oval Office on Thursday, Trump boasted all the global conflicts he feels he has successfully resolved since taking office in January. But when asked about the war in Ukraine, he offered a rare acknowledgement of the challenge he now faces. Quote, I thought the easiest one would be this one, he said. It's actually the most difficult. Trump is not one to get bogged down in details. If there's an opportunity for him to claim that he has made progress towards peace during the talks in Anchorage, he will take it. Putin, always a savvy negotiator, may seek a way to let Trump do just that, on Russia's terms, of course. And that is the end of the article. What are your thoughts, Alfie?
That was a pretty long one.
That was, yes.
My thoughts. I think I really don't think that Trump should have come off like I mean this was at the beginning and before his presidency shouldn't have come off so like loud and proud about being able to end it.
Yes, I agree.
But
He
I do think the oh sorry, what were you saying?
he kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit there with the I could have it solved
Yeah.
within a couple of minutes comments and whatnot.
Yeah. He I don't know, I mean I mean this whole meeting and actually this article I think was before the meeting and what we're recording the 21st of August and yeah, obviously it passed. I couldn't find a good one that was about the meeting, but
It did happen.
yeah, it already happened. I think Friday. Yeah, this article was just one that like I felt like was a little more unbiased.
I see. Oh yes, this was 7 days ago. Okay, okay, I see.
It happened the 15th, I want to say.
Um, we no deal was made.
Well, uh, not entirely, but I think Zelensky, I think, met at the White House recently, and I think Putin and Zelensky. I have to double check that, but I think there was some agreement about them meeting, Putin and Zelensky. And then I remember at the end of the meeting with Trump and Putin that happened, what was it, the 15th? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that they came to kind of an agreement for Trump to meet in Moscow.
Well, oh okay. Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. Yes, and he did agree that he was going to meet in Moscow as well, which is generally a good sign, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just, I hope this is just, good for progress. I mean, it was in a way just based on the talking part because I feel in the previous administration there was really no talks done
That's
to
true.
negotiate peace.
Yeah, I would say that as well. I think all we did was send money to Ukraine, pretty much. I don't think that there was any sit down conversations. So that is a step in a
No.
direction, at least. So that's good. Um,
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I think that the conflict will be resolved, by this time next year. I think that's a fair bet. I think that they're taking such large steps to resolve it, that I don't foresee it going on for much longer. I don't know who will compromise and who won't. I'm leaning more towards Russia potentially compromising due to their economics. Um, but we'll see because I know that I believe early, not the most recent one, but there was a meeting with Zelensky that didn't really go amazing with Trump here.
Yeah.
That one didn't go very well, so I feel like Trump is more leaning. I feel like Trump would be more in favor of aiding Russia than aiding Ukraine due to his relationship with Zelensky versus his relationship with Putin. I could foresee that happening, and Ukraine having to compromise. It'll just depend. But I don't think that in a year from now the conflict will be ongoing. Personally,
No. I think with the whole Trump trying to put tariffs on countries who trade with Russia, I think that prompted Russia to make some sort of deal. And I mean, just to talk, but like, you know,
yeah, yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that they get it all figured out and the conflict stops. Personally,
yeah, me too. It's crazy how long
yeah,
it's been going on.
it has been going
It's
on a
been
long
like
time. How long exactly? I wonder.
3.5 years, I think.
Wow, that's ridiculous. It should have
Wait,
been
when
over by
did
now.
they invade? Hold on. When did Russia invade Ukraine? February 24th. That is in 3 days. That will be like exactly 3.5 years,
That's
if
nuts.
I'm not mistaken.
That's bonkers. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it feels like a very long time with very little progress made. But I do think we're taking some large steps, and I think that something will have been figured out pretty soon. I don't know what that could be. I don't know which way it could go either direction, honestly. But we'll see. Anything else you'd like to say on the matter?
Um, just be good people. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Just be good people. Easy. Don't get into a conflict for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next article. This comes from ABC News. Good old ABC. Headline: Judge denies DOJ's Judge denies DOJ's request to unseal Epstein grand jury records. Yep, you heard it right. We're talking about Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
All right. A federal judge in New York has denied the Department of Justice request to unseal grand jury material from Jeffrey Epstein's criminal case. The decision on Wednesday marks the third and final time a federal judge has denied the Trump administration's request to unseal grand jury materials related to Epstein, the wealthy financier and convicted sex offender who died by suicide.
Allegedly.
Alleged. I'm doing air quotes for the audio listeners. Died by suicide in jail in 2019. The court's decision effectively ends the DOJ's attempt to release grand jury material in the case, though the department's planned to start sharing other Epstein files with Congress later this week. Oh, the department plans to. The Trump administration has been dealing with the fallout from its decision to not release materials related to the investigation into Epstein, following the blowback it received from some MAGA supporters after it announced that no additional files would be released. I'm fairly certain that they didn't say no additional files would be released. They said no additional files existed. Period. If that's what it's referring to. Because that was the last statement that was said, was that the files never even existed, even though they referenced them prior. So that's an interesting one. U.S. District Judge Richard Berman. Oh, U.S. District Judge Richard Berman sharply criticized the Trump administration for seeking to unseal the grand jury documents when the DOJ already has hundreds of thousands of pages of files related to Epstein in its possession. Quote, the instant grand jury motion appears to be a, quote, diversion from the breadth and scope of the Epstein files in the government's possessions. The grand jury testimony is merely a hearsay snippet of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged conduct, he wrote. The government's complete information trove would better inform the public about the Epstein case. So basically, what Berman is saying is that everything sealed in the grand jury that they're trying to unseal is a drop of water in the ocean of what they already have unsealed that they haven't made public. That's what this guy is claiming, which it very well could be true, because there is some fishy stuff going on there with the claiming of the files and then claiming that the files didn't exist. According to the Berman, the grand jury materials are about 70 pages of transcripts primarily comprised of the testimony of an FBI agent who lacked direct knowledge of the case, a PowerPoint slideshow of exhibits, and a call log shown to the grand jury. Quote, the government's 100,000 pages of Epstein files and materials dwarf the 70-odd pages of Epstein grand jury materials, he wrote. Judge Berman also noted that the Trump administration failed to give sufficient notice to victims and that the release of the records would result in, quote, possible threats to victims' safety and privacy. Berman presided over Epstein's criminal case in 2019 on child sex trafficking charges and rejected Epstein's motion to be released on bail while awaiting trial just weeks before his death. What are your thoughts on this, Alfie?
I don't know what to believe.
Neither do I, to
It's,
be honest.
I mean, I feel like things are kind of like going back and forth. I, I don't know. It's
There's been almost no consistency with this. The biggest
no,
consistency
there's
is
yeah,
that Jeffrey Epstein, was an evil pedophile. How involved in government corruptness he was is what's been inconsistent, and to what extent has also been inconsistent. So, we know for a fact that some things have been shifted, some narratives have been changed, etc., etc. I also am not entirely sure what to believe. I mean, if we're being honest at this point, it could very well be a distraction. Like, let's be honest.
yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It feels like manufactured in a way. Just how like how people been really drawn to this.
Yeah, that's what I mean by a
Yeah, I
distraction.
don't know.
It's been all these
Oh, okay. I
years.
figured.
Yeah, it's been all these years, and they're still making articles, and they're still trying to. When they clearly have documents, that's pretty much a fact. They clearly have had. They've changed some narratives. Trump said prior that he had the Epstein flight log on his desk that he would be happy to release once he became president. And then he became president, never released anything, and then claimed that they never existed.
Yeah, it's really fishy.
Yeah, so that's kind of fishy. There's just a lot of inconsistencies, and I also am just unsure what to believe in general. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough because we being society, the general public, just don't have all the information clearly. There's no way to take a guess on this or to make a comment on this because it would just be a guess. So I'm just not sure, honestly.
Yeah, it really makes you not want to trust your government very much.
Yeah, it almost feels like an invasion of freedom, and like they're hiding things from you and lying to you. Almost like what we're trying to combat with this podcast.
Yeah,
We're in the pursuit
I
of
knew you were
freedom.
gonna make that connection. Yeah,
You like what I did there?
we're
Yeah.
all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All about freedom.
All about freedom. That's what we want. We want freedom. In truth, I mean, I think those go hand in hand. And
Yeah.
do you know the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease? If you don't know that saying, there you go. It's true. If the wheel is squeaky, it will get greased. If we make enough noise, we'll get greased. We're in the pursuit of freedom. Or some would call it the Crusade of Freedom, which is the name of our group and our Discord server that I will include in the bio of this video
Yeah.
for you to join.
Come join us.
Yes, join us and we're still doing that book club. We are
Yeah.
still doing regular updates in the server. It's a chill place to hang out. It's a good community. We're growing. Come in, pop in, say hi. You know what I'm saying? Join the Discord or email us at our email that I'll also include. Anything else you'd like to say, Alfie?
It's a weird one because I think with the whole claim that they never existed, I feel like either he if they do exist and they're lying, they got to be consistent about that, or like very, very persistent on that claim. and if they backtrack, then that's it's going to be more blatant that they were lying.
Yes.
And I mean, the fact of the whole thing, like you said about the whole flight log thing, that's very weird how that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah. He claimed to have seen it and have it on his desk, and then it vanished, and it vanished it had never been there. Like, it didn't even vanish. It wasn't like, oh, it went away. It was like, oh, it never existed. That was not true.
You ate him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe he just got a little hungry. The Diet Coke button wasn't working, so he just ate the Epstein flight log. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a my dog ate my homework type of deal. That'd be funny. He comes up to like a press conference, like, "Are you gonna release the Epstein files?" He's like, "Well, I got a little hungry, and they're gone now." He just walk. No, he
He just walks off.
he just walks away. He looks all ashamed. He's like, "Don't be mad at me."
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's just a mess, to be honest. It's a huge controversy mess that is not very clear in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's tough. Obviously, I mean, I wouldn't say it's that controversial of a topic necessarily. I think people are pretty decisive on it. I don't hear anybody out there being like, "No, he did kill himself and there wasn't any file." I do not hear many people defending Jeffrey Epstein.
No, yeah.
It's a pretty
Yeah, I mean, everyone
straightforward.
agrees.
It's pretty clear he's evil. So my
Yeah.
question is, why are they
Definitely.
not releasing the files and whatnot, and what that could entail? But it's one of those things I think we'll never know. Honestly, never know for sure.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day,
Oof.
but I feel like it'll be
Yeah.
like the JFK files. They just got declassified, but they were still very heavily redacted. I read through all that, and there was no new information. It was disappointing. I think it's just one of those things where we'll just never fully know. If it does get released in the future, it'll probably be redacted. But I don't think that they will release it at all, because that would make them look like a complete liar.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. They gotta either be persistent on that claim, or they'll be called liars very quick.
Well, they already haven't been consistent. That's the problem I'm having.
Well, yeah, no, but like if they say,
Yeah, they need to make a decision. Is
oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
they did. Well, no, just like I mean, no, you make a good point that they already haven't been consistent, but like the fact that they claim, oh yeah, they never existed, and they go back, oh wait, we were wrong, it did exist.
True. That would look even worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I don't know. It's I mean, I, I guess it's a good thing that everyone realizes, he was an awful person.
Yes, that is a good thing.
I guess that's the win that we could take for now, I guess, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, and with that, I think that's a good ending point for the second episode of the Fight for Liberty podcast. If you've listened to this
Yeah.
far, thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll see you either next week or week after next. Again, we're not a very consistent schedule. I guess it's
Yeah.
been weekly so far. If this releases on the day that I'm trying to release it on, depending on editing, but I'm sure it will. We'll either see you in a
Yeah.
week or 2 weeks. I mean, we'll see. Thank you for listening.
We're aiming for like a week or two, like we're in that range.
Yes. It'll definitely be within 2 weeks. I don't foresee it being like a month off.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pushing it. If it is a month off, we will announce it first. It'll be for a holiday or something along those lines. So yeah, thank you for listening. See you next time for the Fight for Liberty podcast.
Goodbye.
Craig left.